What's up, everybody? And we are back with a new edition of Two Coaches, One Grizz. I'm Frank Morales. Over here, we got our Coach Emeritus, Gil Laura, and Mario, the Grizz Mesa. How we doing today, gentlemen?
Good. It's another week to unpack all the wonderful chaos of the weekend.
Hopefully we survive this chaos because not a lot of NFL football players did.
Yeah, this first segment is going to be pretty fun, if I do say so myself. And I got a little situation I got to get off my chest here too. So
something close to home.
Yeah, it's very close, very close. So, but let's jump right into it. Let's get to Los Angeles Rams, man. Super Bowl or bust, huh? They are all in. Give it to me, go.
They're shoving their chips to the middle of the table, and they're saying we're riding. We got to. It's funny because again, everybody talks about how people are teams, not people, but teams are signing their rookie quarterbacks, and in that first contract is their Super Bowl window, their window to win the Super Bowl because they got the guy out for 5 years within their contract, and they can sign all these other players. Los Angeles Rams are doing it completely opposite. They got Stafford. They traded for Stafford. They figure this is their window now. So they want to bring somebody else on defense to help out Donald, and let's go. This is it. This is our chance now to win, maybe back to back. Whatever the case may be.
I see the Grizz pondering over here. I'm just going to set the table for this. Von Miller gets traded for a second and third round pick. They're pushing it all in the table to win this year. Grizz, get them.
I love it. I'm an all-in type of guy. You know me. Go big or go home. And they're going big. And they want to stay home for the Super Bowl. Imagine they get the number 1 seed. We don't got to go anywhere. Just stick around. Because we're going to SoFi.
Heard. Like, can I also bring up that they're going to be so bad in 5 years, but like I also love the fact that they don't care like at all, like it doesn't matter.
5 years don't matter. Really, 5 years don't matter when you think about it. Can you imagine trying to block Von Miller and Donald on the same side?
No, that completely it solidifies the fact that Aaron Donald will not get a double team the rest of the year. Now, hopefully it works out. Von Miller, he's got a little wear on those tires, right? He's got a little bit less tread, but listen, it's gonna be fun to watch the second half of the football season.
Oh, he's gonna be rejuvenated. This is going from playing with Bridgewater and Denver, how they were playing lately, to now possibly winning another Super Bowl. He was an MVP. I'm sure he'll step it up.
Very nice. All right, so any other thoughts?
No.
All right. So we're going to jump right into this, and I'm taking the lead on this one because it hit a little bit close to home. All right. Your boy, okay, was, top 2 in our fantasy league, okay? Picked Derrick Henry. Everybody was like, oh, he's not a PPR guy. And the dude was in the first place. He's the first place running back by miles. He's got over 40 points more than the second leading running back, okay? I mean, he's scoring 30 and 40 points a week. All right, and I'm looking because, obviously, like, I'm not watching the game at that point because I got a little guy running around. And I'm like, why is he only score? It's end of the third quarter, early fourth, and he's only got like 6 points. And then later on, I see that, he's got a foot fracture. Okay, so in our league, just to let you guys know, we only carry one running back on the active roster or on the game day roster. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, so now
So sad.
Yeah, go play the violin over there. Okay, so now I gotta scramble, and of course, the resident schlep rock of our league does not want to let go of one of his 2 running backs, so that just pisses me off even more.
The mush.
So,
the mush.
All right, just go. I'm just pissed. Go.
No, but it's funny that you mentioned King Henry, because the situation is that over the last 8 to 10 years, there's a stat line that says any running back that touches over 350 times a year, the next year they get hurt.
Yeah, I just saw the stat. He's carried.
And what did he have last year?
95% of the load.
Yeah, it's not just carry. It's touches. It's touches because he catches,
95% of the
run
touches.
it, and again, it's been going on for about 10 years now. Whichever running back, if the running back is getting 300 plus touches, get ready because he's going to break down.
He's been the anomaly, because of his just physical stature.
Would you say he was due?
Yes, I would say that he was due.
He was due.
In the terms of the great Pugius Maximus, yes, he was due.
Listen, it's a running back in the NFL. Highly likely he's going to go down once or twice in his career.
And it wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost Chris Carson earlier in the year as well. Okay? But now
you're still second overall. So
no, I'm third. I'm third now. I dropped, sir. Respectfully.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, go. I know you're over there. You're over there enjoying this situation.
No, listen, I'm not enjoying anything, sir. It's called fantasy football for a reason.
Yeah, relax.
You get me? You have to go through the injuries.
Aaron Rodgers says,
RELAX.
Relax.
You got to go through the injuries. You got to go. It is what it is. You got to move on and figure it out.
I'm sorry.
This is where being a GM comes in hand. Let's see what you got.
So going from fantasy, let's dive into the serious implications of this. I mean, listen, if there was any team that had a system that was all in on the run game, it's the Tennessee Titans.
That's one of the few teams. That's one of the few teams, if maybe the only team in the NFL that is a run-first team. Everybody's pass happy.
The run sets up the pass for them. Absolutely.
That's it. They go as a running game goes. And Tannehill, again, is a play-action, rollout, boot type of quarterback.
And what's even worse is that their receivers haven't been particularly healthy this year anyway, either. So that's it's kind of a perfect storm of events for them.
Well, now it's time for them to step up. And now they have Adrian Peterson that they just signed in the practice squad.
Yeah, hopefully nobody else picked him up on waivers in our fantasy league. But okay, moving along. Sorry. But yeah, so he's out 6 to 10 weeks. That's
minimum.
Minimum.
Right.
And that's, he's out for the season.
Yeah, yes. he's done for the season.
Correct.
He's definitely out for your season.
Sir, why are we throwing salt in the wound? Okay, we're gonna move on amicably from that comment. All right.
Well, more injuries?
Well, no, I'm just saying that, if they happen to slide into or back into the playoffs, they may have a chance to get him back. Is he going to be back at 100%? What do you think?
He's the franchise guy. You're not going to take a chance with him without proper, care and everything else that goes with it.
All right.
Speaking of, what about Winston? That was nasty.
I mean, I saw that one I did see live, and that I mean, you knew right away. Yeah, being around the game for so long, you knew that there was nothing good there.
Nothing good.
No, yeah, his foot getting caught in the cleat, his cleat getting caught in the grass was horrid.
No,
that was going to be a bad deal.
Yeah, no, I do want to bring up something that I thought was pretty interesting that I saw on some outlets and listening to other shows on our same media platform. What are your thoughts on them maybe inquiring about getting back Teddy Bridgewater? I mean, he knows the offense. That's a perfect game manager for you.
I saw that this morning. They were like super hypothetical. Just what if?
They've already mentioned Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement. Phillip said, "I haven't heard from them yet, but I'm willing to listen."
Yeah,
I'm willing to listen.
Psych.
That guy's a statue.
Listen, when your answer is Trevor Siemian or Taysom Hill, you're considering just about anything right about now.
I mean, Simeon did just beat Tom Brady.
Yeah. That defense is what beat Tom Brady.
Correct.
Yes.
Listen,
they have their number.
I do think that the Saints still have a solid situation going because they have a great defense going for them, so they can get themselves a game manager that's going to allow them to still be proficient throughout the season. But man, I actually thought that the whole Teddy Bridgewater situation was pretty solid. But are they willing to give up potentially a first-round pick for Teddy Bridgewater?
There's no way.
Nope.
And then, by the way, the guy who looked rejuvenated is Ingram. Ingram ran like a man possessed. I saw it. I'm like, who is this guy?
It's funny too because you see the Ravens and you thought, oh wow, they're down to the third, fourth, fifth running back. So you thought you would think that Ingram's the guy, and then all of a sudden Tyson Williams shows up and is doing a pretty great job, and he's got he's a lot younger running back. But yeah, man, that was pretty exciting to see because
that was a great change-up with him and Kamara again. That looked good.
Yeah, but he's good for that. He's good for the change-up. He's not going to be your one back. He's good for the third down. Give me some goal line touchdowns. That's what he does.
Agreed.
I mean, Yeah, but also like he's pretty proficient out of the backfield. Also, like that, again, it's not something that that they're going to run the ball between the tackles with.
Absolutely not. But still, he's not going to do it all in his zone. Having Kamara there,
correct.
That's awesome. And he's already been there, so he knows what's up.
And what is it? Kamara's the first running back, the quickest to 3,000 yards passing and rushing, or receiving and rushing. Yeah. Quickest running back in the league or in history.
Yeah, he's having a solid season.
So
he's having a solid season.
Yeah, I mean that's going to alleviate some touches for him and keep him fresh going down the stretch. So yeah, correct. Definitely like that.
Correct. Well, speaking of other backups, how about that upset with the Jets? Let's get White on board now.
Mike White.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, if somebody has information on this dude, like take it away because I got nothing for you.
I have no idea.
No, I mean he's been a career backup guy. He's never really been anywhere. Hasn't really done much. You get me? But again, this year seems to be the year of the backup. Everybody has a backup quarterback in. I mean, Geno Smith is starting.
Geno.
Okay? I mean, honestly, we've got like five backups right now.
I didn't know he was still in the league.
And nobody knows he was in the league till they dusted him off and said, come on out.
Being the backup used to be the best gig. You never had to come in. You'd hold the clipboard. You got paid a nice little salary. You got to make moves now. You got to actually play.
Chase Daniels for several years there, who was getting the highest paid backup in the league for $10 million a year, and dude was holding a clipboard. I mean,
we've got like 4 or 5 starters that are out. You get me? I mean, again, now the backup position becomes even bigger than ever. And you just can't have people holding the clipboard like the Grizz said.
Now, also, I will like to add, Cooper Rush absolutely destroyed me in fantasy this year. They decided to go on like a 12-minute drive, to lose me the fantasy game the other night.
Cooper Rush.
Cooper to Cooper.
That's another one.
Cooper for the win.
I got no information on that one.
Listen, it was Kirk Cousins he was going against, who never ever plays good in a primetime game. You could just you could do the dive with this guy all day. Kirk Cousins does not show up if it's a night game.
It's incredible.
It's
it really
terrible.
Is incredible.
You got the backup Cowboys quarterback Cooper Rush. You can't even score.
I mean,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Listen, credit to the Cowboys defense. Credit to the squad as well. They've done a great job of putting that team together. Micah Parsons taking snaps, middle linebacker, edge rusher, outside linebacker. Like the dude was all over the field in that game. And, I mean, that's a versatile piece to have, man.
Halfway into the season, Mike McCarthy all of a sudden looks like a guru.
No.
Going into the season, he looked like a duck. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, hey, what's going on with the Cowboys? Oh, the Cowboys are great. And that the great thing about the NFL is it's week to week. It's incredible. It really is, because the Bengals were riding high on top of the world, and boom, to the Jets. Of all the teams.
They weren't my survivor pick.
yours and about 80% of America.
I had the Chiefs the night before, and I'm like, I'm not feeling the Chiefs this week.
Oh, no.
Let me go against these sorry Jets.
Psych, 400 yards later.
Bad move.
Should have put the parlay in.
There you go. We've had a lot of stuff going on the last couple of days with Calvin Ridley being out with the Falcons, okay, stating mental health as the reason to be out. I mean, and again, all due respect to the mental health situation and things of that nature, but when Julio Jones left and he became the number one guy, what did he expect? When you go to the NFL to be a superstar, because let's face it, that's what your dream is to go to the NFL to be a superstar, right? When you become that superstar, what do you think it's going to be like? Yeah, you're expected to produce every week. You're expected to lead your team in receiving, rushing, throwing, whatever position you're playing. You get me? And to say, well, I need some time off because mentally I'm not really right. I mean, he never had issues before. This is not something that he had in college or like. What exactly are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, it at least warrants a little bit more information to understand the full picture of the situation. I mean, like I'm not one here to judge about mental health and whatnot, but yeah, it is kind of an inopportune time because they are in kind of a race, right? Like they're not doing too bad.
You're the guy. You are the man. every team circles, hey, we got to put our number one DB against this. Hey, we're gonna kick the coverage to this guy. We're gonna let the other guys beat you. Now all of a sudden,
Yeah, when you sign up for certain positions in life, like you're also signing up for the pressure, good and bad. So I agree in one sense. I also, I want to reserve judgment, because I may not know the full picture of what his situation is. But yeah, I mean, it at least warrants a little bit more information.
Again, my whole take on it is like if it's something that he's been battling for the last 3 or 4 years, okay, I get it. I'm sure we would have heard about it by now. My problem is that now you're halfway into the season where you're the man, and you can't be the man.
Yeah, you're the guy.
You get me? And then on the other side of the coast, we got the situation with Ruggs.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point to pick up. I mean, listen. All right, so here are my thoughts on this. I'm gonna unpack this, and I'm glad that you picked this up. Like, the young man he's 22 years old, and in football terms, like I'm only 32, but like I might as well be light years ahead of the dude. And I still consider myself pretty young, but like I do remember those times. But you are a millionaire. You have your whole life set up in front of you. It's made. On top of the fact that each NFL city in this country has it's complimentary service provided by the NFL to pick you up from whatever you're doing. You could be doing whatever atrocity, okay? And they will pick you up, no questions asked, and take you wherever you need to go. So,
how many times do we have to see this? How many times are we going to sit back and take a look at these guys? Because it keeps repeating itself.
No, it does.
You get me?
But Coach, unfortunately, it's going to always continue to repeat itself because at 22 years old, I remember when I was 22 years old, and you think you're Superman. You can do whatever the hell you want. Now, imagine this dude who's got a brand new Corvette. He's got millions of dollars in the bank, and he, is the starting precipice number one receiver for, the Raiders.
But Coach, again, and I was 22 as well, and I hung out with a group.
You were?
Yes, I was. I know it's hard to believe.
Wow.
It's a while back.
Crazy.
And I kind of remember some of those guys. Okay, but I had a group. I had a group of guys that hung with me. Most of us do. Most of us have a small group of
100%.
friends and stuff like that we hang with. And we always knew when it was like, hey, I can't. I got to sit in the car for 2 hours. I can't go. Or your friends will be like, hey, bro, you can't go like that. No, give me the keys. I'll take. You get me? I mean, where are your boys at this time? Because they got boys when it's, hey, I need money, I need this, I need that. But where are your boys when it comes down to that time? Listen, brother, you can't drive like that. No, give me. No, we gotta go.
I 1000% agree. I mean, I'm sitting next to our producer who we were absolute degenerates together, and yeah, I completely agree. Like, when all is said and done, man, like, you got to make the right decisions. But again, I understand both sides of it, but at the same time, I also wasn't a millionaire.
Yeah, Coach, but you know what? And again, and not to harp on it, but when you become a millionaire, I think that you need to understand where you're at. Because again, for us, we weren't millionaires. So I was like, we're rolling the dice.
But let me get in on this. He wasn't a millionaire until basically a few months ago, a year ago, whatever it was. And he's 22. Not going to... Totally agree. I would never drive again if I was a millionaire. Just Uber all day. Someone pick me up. Even in the car that he has, I'm passenger or I'm letting someone else drive me. Well, having said that, we're talking with our minds now. And at 22, at that moment drinking, he made that mistake that unfortunately ended up with someone dying. Because any other night he probably made that same mistake. Nothing happened, which empowered him to think nothing will happen because I am a millionaire. I am bulletproof and nothing will happen until it happens. And now you got to pay the consequences.
And can I also bring up that I think this is the first of many instances where having a pro team in Las Vegas is going to rear its ugly head. To this point, it hasn't been such an issue. I think that we're not going to see. Unfortunately, I don't think this is not the last time we're going to see this in that city.
I mean, hopefully it's a lesson for everybody else that's there.
100%.
And plays there and goes through that.
Having been a particular person that's been in Las Vegas for multiple weeks and months at a time, it's like any other big city. Doesn't matter where you're at. that would have happened anywhere. The fact that it's in Las Vegas sucks. I think it's just the fact that it's the Raiders, because things like that happen to the Raiders, unfortunately. But it's a big city. That could have happened in LA any day of the week. Could have happened definitely here in Miami.
Our city closes later than that city does.
It
Even
does.
though it's called Sin City,
does.
our city closes later than this.
If you're out in Las Vegas at that time, you're in a casino. And especially someone with that kind of money, that nobody's letting that guy go anywhere. Sure, you get whatever you want, room, don't look at it. That probably happened just, drinking with your boys young. Anywhere could happen. But yeah, having Las Vegas be the place, not going to shine a bright light.
I'm glad actually we brought those couple topics up because I thought it was worth discussing. Michigan versus Michigan State this weekend. Michigan goes in with a solid lead into the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, what the hell happened? Talk to me.
Those of us that are Miami Hurricane fans know the pain that young man, the running back at Michigan State, can inflict on a team. That kid is the real deal.
I mean, when we got to play him, everybody, Michigan State, that's not going to be that hard of a game. Cane's got him. And I knew back then, tough team. And look at that, number 3 overall right now.
Walker with 23 carries, 197 yards, and 5 touchdowns against the Wolverines.
5?
So, yeah, real deal indeed, sir.
No, and their defense stepped up at the right time and made some big plays as well to have them where they're at. I mean, again, I was one of those that had Michigan State bottom of the Big Ten. I had them nowhere near where they're at, honestly.
I mean, it's
I didn't have them that high up, but I Michigan State's one of those teams that just they play tough.
I mean, it's just crazy, right? You're going in. It's 7 minutes left in the game, right? And Michigan has almost an 81% chance of winning, and then chaos ensues.
And let me tell you something. Michigan State has a big game at Purdue this weekend. Purdue has a good run defense. They throw the ball. Michigan State is weak against the pass. And
Trap
again,
game?
it could be a trap game or a letdown game, really. It's one of those letdown situations.
I think it is a letdown.
Where they
A lot of emotion. You play your rival.
You're
and
sad.
you come
You
back.
beat the big brother.
You came back from a tremendous game to win it.
I mean,
It'll be a close one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just heartbreaking loss on all accounts. Like Michigan, outgained Michigan State 552 to 395. All right, they both had 2 turnovers, but that's negligible. But time of possession, Michigan had 35 minutes, right, possessing the ball versus Michigan State's 25 minutes. But listen, at the end of the day, all that counts is the scoreboard. So, that was 26 first downs for Michigan as well. So
Right. That's why now Michigan State is number 3, and we'll see how the rest of the season plays out.
Setting up a big matchup later in the season to decide who's in and who's out. But we'll get to that in a second here. Grizz.
No, nothing. Just we got Georgia that took out the Gators in spectacular fashion.
Shout
out, Mr. Gomez.
Get him.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Gators, Dan Mullen had a great press conference.
Bye-bye.
He had they talk about recruiting. We don't recruit right now. We're not recruiting. We're in season. We don't recruit during the season. We recruit after the season. And then our boy Kirby on the other side is like, no, man, you got to recruit all the time.
You're recruiting 24/7 when you're at that level, baby.
Let me
girl.
tell you.
Who thought he might beat Manny Diaz to see who's out first?
Wow.
In the hot seat, huh? That's crazy, though.
Actually, we should put wagers on that. Producer, write that down. We're gonna put wagers on that in one of these shows. Who's out first, Mullen or Diaz?
Sadly, Mullen.
There's more expectations there for sure.
I actually want him to stay. Keep losing.
Shut up. No, but
We're gonna roll right along here. We're gonna go into so some interesting calculus here. OSU, Oregon, all right, both have 1 loss. Obviously, Oregon beats OSU early on in the season, game 3 or 4 of the season.
Yeah. Third game, I think.
Third
Was it
game,
third? Second or
right?
third?
Either second or third.
And then
What's your point?
who makes it into the college football playoff?
If they both have 1 loss?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the team that beat the other team.
but who
Do we not play
Yes.
head to head?
Yes,
Do we not say,
I
hey,
agree- I
who
agree with
wins
you.
on the field?
I agree with you.
No more of this polls and computer stuff.
Sir, I agree with you
Sir.
1,000%. That may not be the view of the illustrious committee who works on this ranking from week to week.
From what I'm looking at in the rankings that are currently up, I see the Oregon is at 4 and Ohio State is at 5.
And Ohio State is conveniently placed at 5, waiting for the
Waiting for
first
nothing.
Stumble.
the first
But if
stumble.
Oregon stumbles, bye. They're gone from anything. No, don't worry about
Look,
who they're going to
Here's
they're
what's going to
gone.
happen. If you look at it, you got Michigan State and at 3. You got Ohio State at 5. I think that's going to determine who's in and who's not. I mean, that's what they're setting up right now. That's just facts, in my opinion.
But now, with that being said, though, if Cincy runs out the table and goes undefeated, okay, yeah, you have Oregon with 1 loss. If Ohio State runs the table, they got 1 loss. Okay, are you going with 2 SEC teams and the Pac-12 and Big Ten, or if are you going to take out Bama or the Dogs? Because let's say Alabama beats Georgia in the championship game. Georgia only has 1 loss. So now you have 5. You have potentially 4 teams, maybe 5, with 1 loss. You have 2 outside teams that could be undefeated because Oklahoma could run the table, who's at 8, and Cincinnati. So again, that's where things get muddled. That's where things become an issue. That's where we talk about strength of schedule, how, the conference. And I know that the Grizz hates that conference talk and can't stand it. Okay, but that's where strength of conference comes in.
Absolutely.
How strong is the Pac-12? How good? They got 1 team. There's 1 team in the Pac-12 that can smell anything.
Now, look, here's my view on this, right? Setting up for a head-on collision in the SEC championship game between Georgia and Alabama, okay? If Georgia beats Alabama, all right, no questions asked, Alabama drops out, it is what it is. Now, it gets interesting.
That's the easy way.
It gets interesting. Alabama
easy
beats
about
Georgia.
this.
I think Georgia drops to 4, right? Bama may move up to 1. Okay, whichever team in the Big Ten loses that Big Ten championship game, right? They're out for sure, right? Because that would be a 2-loss team. Okay, and then you get into the calculus.
The problem is that Michigan State and Ohio State are in the same side in their division.
Oh, okay, so that's what I was
whoever
thinking.
they play, whoever wins that game, pretty much will play in the Big Ten championship against who? Wisconsin and Nebraska. Should be me.
Nebraska.
So the Big Ten champion, I think, goes in with 1 loss. You have, obviously, Georgia wins out, they're in. But if Alabama wins and they both have 1 loss,
so
highly likely Georgia's not going to be left out, losing their first game in the SEC championship.
Correct.
So those 2 are in. A Big Ten team is in. And then you're going to have the real sticky situation of either an undefeated Oklahoma, undefeated Cincinnati,
a 1-loss Michigan State,
a 1-loss Oregon.
Because if Michigan State loses to Ohio State, that's the only blemish.
Michigan State is an only blemish.
I mean,
But
again,
they're not as attractive.
No, you're right. But look, they would have beaten Michigan. They would have beaten Penn State. They would have beaten Miami.
I still think an Oklahoma undefeated team
Correct.
gets in because the next 3 games are their biggest 3 games of the year.
Correct.
And let's not forget a little sneaky team there that Alabama has to play if everything runs out. Auburn. If Auburn wins out and the Iron Bowl is in winner take all, how many times has Alabama walked in? Especially it's at Auburn.
It's at Auburn, yeah.
And we've seen some really funky stuff happen there. And if Auburn takes them out, I mean, it's 3 or 4 games left. There's so much to go.
No,
and there's always chaos.
Like I said, I want to see it. I want to see where there's 5 1-loss teams, 2 undefeated teams. I want to see where we're at. That's my thing. I want to see 5 1-loss teams, 2 undefeated teams, and let's see what happens, where we go.
If I'm not mistaken, they did bring up the discussion of the 18 playoff again recently.
It's actually going to be 12.
Yeah.
See,
there's going to be 12 teams.
But the problem with that is, again, you get into remember they are college kids and students, so it makes things longer.
Yeah, but every other every other division.
Listen, I played D3 ball. Every
D3,
other
D2,
division
they
has
have
32 teams.
Yeah, but okay.
32 teams in the
But
playoffs.
don't forget-
1AA all the way down to Division
Listen,
3.
Kenyon King.
I'm good with 8 though.
The king
I
of
don't need
Kenya.
12.
Remember, we're not talking about the money and the Bulls and what they represent.
Sir, we're talking about
Okay.
every other division underneath
But
that
they don't
with
have
higher
bowl-
academic standards.
But they don't have
so
the Bulls.
they can't use that.
No, but they don't have the Bulls. They don't have all the other things that they have.
But that's been the excuse.
So again, unless you're able to put in the Bulls some
The
way,
Bulls will be manufactured into this playoff
right?
sim,
That's
like
the only
they've
way
already
it'll
done
work.
with the 6.
You get me? And it starts earlier. Okay, that way again, because the college playoffs in D2 and D3 start way earlier than the whole bowl situation.
Again,
all
right.
of it.
12 teams is inevitable money. It's all about money.
No argument there.
The money that they're gonna get from whoever one of the broadcasting is ESPN, Fox, anyone. The amount of money is gonna take away any of the money that the Bulls would bring in. Yeah. So it's just an inevitability.
Okay, my point is with that is that historically their excuse was, oh well, we can't take the academic time away from when 1AA all the way down to Division 3.
But
sorry, FCS for those of you that are
you cannot
sticklers.
start the playoffs in January. Is my point. Okay,
but it's only one or two more games that they play. Like
they would start
no,
in
coach, it's a
December.
little bit longer. It has to be started in December
because they had, but okay.
Yeah, I'm saying
They
the
would start.
playoffs would have to start in December.
They would
So you have
start the
enough
second
weeks,
week of December,
right, to be able to fit all the games in that you have to fit in.
Understood, but
So-
remember, historically speaking, the national championship has always been there's like a 4 to 6 week layoff depending on if you're in a conference or not when you're playing in the bowl games, right? Like
When you're playing in the
that
major,
4 to
right,
6
in the-
weeks,
in the-
all the other divisions are playing their playoff
But that's
games.
why I'm saying that.
Right. So it's
right.
built in there.
Of course, you can. It can be done. I'm not saying it can't be done.
Right.
But they would have to start it way, earlier in December. Okay. Again, I'm not against playoffs. God knows I love, which is right around the corner, college basketball and the March Madness.
You
okay.
got yourself a Woody on that
I can't wait. We're 7 days away. All right. So again, I'm all about the playoffs. I think it.
Listen, only 4 teams will have to play. Okay, 12 teams, so you're gonna have 4. You're gonna have the 8 teams, 4 teams on a bye. I'm sorry, 5 through 12 will play the first week, right? So then you have a bye for the first 4. Then it goes to 8, right? Then it gets to 4. So right there, those 4 are playing 3 games, maybe. So it's only affecting 4 teams that have to play 3 games, and then the championship, 3 or 4 games. It's not gonna bother.
I think
It's going to be so much
I
money.
think 8 playoff teams are solid. 12.
They're college kids, man. Play.
No, again, if it gets fit the right way, it is possible, and it should be. It's exciting, no doubt. But again, I digress. I cannot wait to see what happens in the next 4 weeks of college football.
The teaser.
This is a playoff already.
And let's not forget, there's another little team at number 9 called the Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
Is this a foreshadowing of the deep dive?
No, I'm not foreshadowing anything right now, but I'm
No,
just
this
trying
is
to
just a
say
foreshadowing of an undefeated ACC team that nobody fucking remembers.
that everyone fails to mention. Everybody gets on the Clemson, but Wake Forest, and this weekend is huge. Wake Forest, a ranked team, is going into North Carolina as an unranked opponent. The unranked opponent is favored. And so far this year, that's been a recipe for disaster. So
We did go deep diving on that.
Wake Forest has a big test, and it sucks because my numbers say Wake Forest. But yeah, I don't know if I could take that one.
Quick touch on the Maction time here that we have in the background playing. Give it to us.
Let me tell you, this is the most exciting time of the year. I know everybody talks about Christmas being the happiest day of the time of the year. This is it.
When you're the guy having to buy presents.
Maction starts, and from here on out, every Tuesday, we're going to have Maction, and we have football.
Look at this on a Tuesday. Look at this.
No, to the house.
To the house, live.
Toledo with a little slant to the house. Okay. And again, that's the whole contingency. We have football now going almost every night from here.
Side note, I guess they can't cover the hook to curl in college.
I guess not. Nobody can. Sadly, we can't throw it. Moving right along.
But we digress.
But yeah, it's Mac action time. I mean, even though Toledo scored and we're here cheering, sadly, I do have Eastern Michigan at +9. And they've been playing pretty tough. We'll see what happens.
I mean, it's always good to change to the channel and then throw an 80-yard pass for a touchdown, It's lovely.
See how that goes.
On that note, we'll be back in a minute here with a look at some MLB and NBA action. All right, and we're back with a little bit of coverage on, a sport that doesn't get as much of the attention as we usually give to our NFL and college football coverage. But so Major League Baseball, World Series, Braves are up 3-2, right? They're currently about to start the top of the third. Gil, give me what you got here, kid.
Well, I mean, again, it comes down to pitching. Both sides, the teams have traded games as far as hitting is concerned, but it comes down to pitching. Tonight, Atlanta is pitching Fried, who should be the guy that he needs to bounce back. He got beat up last game. He got beat up the game before that against the Dodgers. So he needs to settle in there and give him some innings. I do think the Astros are going to jump to their bullpen quickly because, again, it's do or die for them.
Right.
It's do or die, so they're gonna
use their entire bullpen if they need to.
They're gonna exhaust everything.
I'm sorry. What is it? The
arm. What is it?
The arm barn.
Get the hell out of here. The bullpen. It's a bullpen. Por favor. All right, enough is enough. Give me a break. Okay. But yes, Dusty's gonna go to the bullpen as soon as there's any issues, any problems, because they got to lock down a win. If they don't win here, they're done.
Are there any bulls in that pen?
There are a lot of arms, though.
Are there any bulls?
Shout out to Peter.
Yeah.
No, definitely, I agree with you there. I mean, Fried does have to bounce back with that situation because he got shelled in his first game out there. Listen, like you said, the Astros they got to go with 15 different pitchers if they need to because there's no game tomorrow or the next day if they lose this one. Again, my team-wise, my heart's with the Braves, but I would love to see Dusty Baker win one. It's just, the Astros, they give me a bad taste in my mouth, man, from their past discretions. I don't know if any true baseball fan is gonna get over that.
Yeah, man, listen, man, I go back to the pine tar incident. I go back to the Vaseline in the gloves and everything else. So, I mean, it's par for the course for me. You get me? It's just whatever it takes, brother. So yes, it sucked that they had the little buzzer in the shirt, letting them know, hey, fastball's coming, change up. I get it, but again, it's all about winning. That's the name of the game, and they have been playing very well this offseason. The Astros came back this year to play and to try to win. But yes, I am going for the Braves.
Grizz, I see this face of disgust on your face. I know that you are thoroughly entrenched in action right now, but give us some color commentary here.
Let's go over and the Astros. That's all I got.
That's what he's got.
That's what I got.
That's what he's got.
Let's go to Game 7. Who doesn't like a Game 7?
And right now it's 0-0, so the over is still getting a little shaky.
Man.
What is the over, by the way?
They start late, man.
8.5. 8.5.
And you took the over?
Of course. Almost every game the Astros are involved in goes over, man.
All right, then. Whoa.
Listen, you only become a real gambler when you start taking the under. The under is the line of demarcation when it comes to you're a real gambler when you start taking the under.
Oh, I'm a pretend gambler for sure. But I like the over.
All right, then. Well, I think that covers our coverage of the MLB.
Stimulating talk.
Yeah. All right. So jumping straight into NBA. All right. Bulls. A little bit on a streak here. What's the deal? Talk to me.
They're 6-1. I can't name maybe 3 players at best if I'm lucky from the Bulls.
DeMar DeRozan.
They're 6-1.
Levine.
6-1. Leading the East
Lonzo
at this
Ball.
time.
Those are your 3?
There's your 3. There you have it.
That's the new big 3.
Big 3.
I mean, they're young. They're playing well. They're 6-1 again. I mean, they only lost to the Knicks by 1 point. They're playing good defense. I mean, They're playing really good defense. And again, the under is hitting on almost every
So what do you
game
think?
in the NBA.
What's their ceiling here? 5, 6 in the East, maybe, if that. Grizz, pontificating.
No, I'm just checking this out. It's pretty cool to see the old school. The Bulls are at 1, Heat are at 2, Knicks are at 3. It's like the 90s all over again.
Yeah. I mean, again, early in the season.
But it's early. And, teams like Brooklyn are playing slow. Milwaukee, it wouldn't be in the playoffs if it started today, technically. I mean, come on.
Kyrie
it's
still
really
hasn't gotten
early.
vaccinated.
Yeah, it's really early. We got time on our hands. But right now, the Bulls are playing pretty good. I honestly haven't seen maybe like 2 games. I knew they were winning, but I'm just looking at how hot the Heat have been. The Heat are looking really good right now. Good road wins.
That's another squad that's playing really well. And again, I mean, I like it because everybody's playing defense. Defense has been the key. And again, like I said, the unders have been hitting in every NBA game.
Yeah, so again, from my understanding with NBA, like, your defense kind of lags behind during the season, but in the playoffs, defense picks up because you have time to study, the teams that you're playing. So in that respect, the Heat, I mean, with their culture and how they play, they do have that advantage, going forward in the season because I mean they're just grinders, man. They really are. Legit. I don't know. I'm looking at the dude with the Heat tattoo on his leg.
That again, and that's a team. When we talked about it last week, when they're all playing, they are playing well together. And to me, that's the key in basketball. The key for me is how well you play together as a team, because you got to know where the guy's going to go, who's picking up the pick and roll, all those little intricacies within the game is what makes a difference in NBA. Okay, and I mean, and not so much in college, because in college you get away with zone, you play more zone, and you can do different things. But in the NBA, since it's more of a man-to-man concept, the pick and rolls and how they come off of screens, that makes a difference on both sides of the court, on offense and on defense.
Yep. And picking up, like I said last time, I mean, having Lowry on this team, Tucker, those are Miami Heat guys. The more I see them play, I'm like, that they fit the Miami Heat profile. And we're playing really good, cohesive right now. And yeah, man, I really like how this team is shaping up.
And especially like when you're a guard-centric team, which, that's what Miami is, like you need to be able to have, that especially in the middle, because what's their inside man is Bam. And he's what, 6'9"? Like that's their inside guy. And I mean, again, it fits the profile of the current NBA, but especially they're looked at as a guard-centric team.
But I do think that this year, more so than not, our bench is much stronger. It has not been like this for at least 5 seasons minimum.
And Hero's getting over the sophomore slump.
Yeah, and to me, I think that's what's going to happen, is that our bench will be the key for us to be able to move forward in any type of playoff.
You got to be able to throw guys at the best dudes.
You got 82. Listen, you got 82 games. You're gonna have guys sitting out. You're gonna have guys resting. You're gonna have get Knicks turns. Little Knicks, little hurt here and there. So,
Nicks and bumps, sir.
Exactly. So your bench is gonna be the key to that. And like I said, I do think for once in the last, for a while now, the Heat does have a nice bench that can carry us.
Yeah, I mean, and let's call it what it is. Harden's good for a hammy for like 15 to 20 games in the middle of the season, and who knows when the hell Kyrie's going to be there on a full team basis, or a full term basis, I should say, because he's, what is it? It's only away games.
Aren't we getting Oladipo back?
He is there.
He had the knee surgery.
Yeah, but I'm saying, isn't he coming back to play at some point this season?
That's another body to throw at. I mean, he
bench guy.
A starter level player.
Number 2 overall pick, could have been, He came last year to try to have that kind of season so he could have that big free agent. He got hurt, but now, he's going to come out strong if he's healthy.
Well, but what's the outlook, right? Like, because, we can look at it and Riley might decide, I'm going to keep all these dudes. But again, that's a lot of hands to feed. Again, a guard-centric team.
Yeah, but I don't think Oladipo's at that level right now coming back this year where we're going to have to feed him that much.
No, I'm not saying he's coming back. I'm just saying that it's a nice little. We have that kind of
That's a nice
bench,
plus.
and you just throw that guy in the bench. And,
Yeah, that's a nice little
you know,
plus.
and once again, who knows where we're at when it comes to trade deadline? Because when Pat sees something and he thinks, "Hey, I got a chance,"
Correct,
and time is moving for him, so he wants that title again, one more title at least, and he could get that. He smelled it a couple years ago. He's so close to it that if he needs to make a move at the trade deadline, you got to have these pieces on the bench that maybe will help you get something else.
Agree.
And again, and again, credit to our producer, the bench and the depth that they have, it makes them contenders by default in the East. So, I mean, that's legit there. Let's switch sides here. Let's go to the Western Conference. The Warriors. They're looking. They're not at full strength yet.
That's another team that they still have Clay coming in a month or two, and when that guy comes back, I think it might be the Warriors from a couple years ago that they were just
floor spacing,
just killing everybody.
And they're playing defense.
Yeah, wait till they get Wiseman.
And they're playing defense.
They got a lot of players. I told you last week with Wiggins, bro. I just love that team. Steph has found that okay, disrespect me kind of thing. Chip on your shoulder. He's gonna break the all-time 3-point record at some point this year. That guy. I mean. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Warriors go all the way.
And Steph is a phenomenal player. Obviously, somebody who has changed the game, right? Depending on perspectives, good or bad or whatever it is. But he hasn't proven that he's been able to carry a team by himself. I'm sorry. I'm going to throw that out there. Super hot take.
The first championship, yeah, he had Clay and he had Draymond. I'm sorry,
Draymond Green.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
of course he carried them.
What do you think?
Who
do you think was
them?
the number one on that team?
You gonna tell me Clay didn't carry them?
Yeah.
I mean, you Clay carried them?
No.
What is that? What do you mean? What are you
carried
talking
the
about?
team.
That's number 2 and number 3. What?
Right. Well, every great player has a number 2 and a number 3.
I mean, of course, you have to have a number 2. Bird had a number 2.
I love what I just sparked here.
I mean, Magic had number 2s.
You didn't spark
I mean,
much, but making yourself not look very intelligent there, sir.
You go back in time, everybody has a 2. There's all Batman had a Robin. Everybody has a 2.
They ended up having the best record in the NBA regular season ever. And if it wasn't for choking a 3-1 because LeBron had his amazing run, Kyrie made that shot, they would have gone down as the greatest team ever, which would have been led by them. And then, yes, Kevin Durant comes in, and then Kevin Durant, yeah, he's your alpha at that point.
Right.
Softest move in NBA history, in sports history.
Yeah, that's fine,
in
whatever.
athletic participation.
And again,
really,
but it shows
I
you.
really don't care because years from now, nobody's going to give 3 Fs about that.
And it shows you Steph.
I beg to differ.
Nah.
Listen, it shows you Steph's
everything.
maturity, that he had no issues with that guy coming over. Just like when Dwayne did it here. Just when Wade did it here.
Yeah, that's the new age NBA. Everybody's just, everybody's looking. LeBron started it. He's the one that formed that. Actually, you'd say the Celtics big 3. Celtics big 3.
I disagree there because the Lakers had a big 3 before that.
Yeah, but all that was organically
Who was a big 3? No,
drafted.
Correct. No, the Lakers 3 or the Boston, all those guys were drafted or brought in. They were not trades made.
Exactly.
They were not really trades made.
Or big free agent signings like that. That was never really the case.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So here, all right, we're gonna jump into this because this is my contention. All right, Boston Celtics. All right, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen.
Yes, that's the first big 3.
I would say that's the first one that you could say.
So why does LeBron get the heat for that?
Because he's LeBron James.
He doesn't get the heat. No.
The Celtics didn't do a TV show.
That's where I was.
I mean, I love him, and you couldn't be any more happier than me when I heard taking talents to South Beach. But having said that, I go, I didn't need to do all this show. I didn't like that he didn't tell the Cleveland people. The production to it. The
guy tried to do a charity, and they botched the situation.
I think it's amazing what he did, but just. You could do the charity
and just
give the money without having to just do the show. But whatever. Having said that, and then he gets hate on that because they didn't do the not 1, not 2, not 3. And guess what? He's a target. He was just everybody loves to hate on LeBron James.
25 years old. He's trying to pump his new exciting situation. And
I'm all good with that.
You know, the problem is that, again, today he started texting or tweeting about OBJ. Oh, free OBJ. He needs to shut up and play.
Sir.
So, that brings us right into the next situation. If the Lakers right now are struggling.
Yeah, and not all big threes are created equally, because now they got Westbrook on the team with Anthony Davis and LeBron. You would close your eyes and say, "Oh my God, that team should go undefeated." But not everything meshes well. Not everything, you can't just fit puzzle pieces just because they look good. If it doesn't fit the right square, it's gonna look pretty crappy.
No, and
right now it's gonna take, and they'll be in the playoffs. They got a shot to go places.
All I'm gonna say is this: LeBron's getting hurt already early in the season. AD, is going to get hurt sooner or later, because AD always gets hurt.
Always. Okay. Count on it like death and taxes.
Westbrook is not going to carry anybody. Westbrook's best shot is to drive it to the hole.
Westbrook will score a lot.
Yeah, but not shoot threes, because then when he starts shooting threes, it's over.
Assist a lot. But yeah, his threes are terrible.
So again, I am concerned. I don't know. I don't think the Lakers are as strong as they're made out to be. I really don't.
I think they'll get it together at some point. But yeah, I'm not betting them. To me, Golden State's a way better team. I like Utah even more now, because they're just consistent. We talked about that consistency. They got that culture with D Wade owning part of them. He's instilling some of that culture to that team. And just there's so many other good teams that they've been playing together for longer. Denver is always going to give you that, because they've been playing for a while. And yeah, this is the only way LeBron's going to get another title. He tried, hey, got to load it up, but it's not going to work out.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna pan out there.
We're gonna table this discussion until later in the year.
We will
Definitely.
Don't forget, next week, March Madness. Get ready, it's starting up in November. March Madness in November, baby.
We start really early with the madness. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do.
And we are back with the deep dive. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going into this one blind. I think that the Coach Emeritus has some good stuff to tell us this week in terms of his record for the season, as well as previous weeks. On
the positive side, at least I hit 500 last week, which sucks because you still lose the juice.
Get him with the deep dive.
We went 3-3. Our seasons right now, our total for this season right now is 9-11. Which, again, I'm still 2 games under 500. It's not a good situation. Hopefully this weekend we can finally get over the hump. We did hit a couple of games last week which were big. We liked Troy early. We hit Houston. Houston came through and had a great game. Tremendous finish. Okay, and like I said before, we're on to some MAC action this weekend. Some of the games that I've taken, too late to jump on them.
The action.
But we've got Eastern Michigan +9 and Ohio +7.5. Hopefully everything pans out there. The place for the rest of the week, we like Baylor at -6.5. They're playing TCU. The head coach from TCU just stepped down this weekend. Gary Patterson.
Wait, time out. I didn't know this. Hold on. Can we talk about this for a second? Because that's my guy.
Yeah, he stepped down. They were going to fire him. They were going to tell him it was the end of the season. He was like, no. I'm done now. Deuces. So he stepped down. Jerry Kill is taking over for him on an interim basis.
For all those who went to the 425 Morales situation, sorry.
He's a great coach. I think they did him wrong. It is what it is. It's college football. But he went to work on Monday. He was there yesterday. And he was sharing what the game plan was, what he thought about, what the plan was for this game coming up. I just think Baylor is going to be too much. I don't think that their defense will be able to stop them. So we're going to take Baylor -6.5. We're a little chalky this week, taking a few favorites. A little chalky.
The waters are muddy.
We're a little chalky. We're taking some favorites. We're also gonna get back on the bandwagon with San Diego State at -7. They're playing at Hawaii. Going to Hawaii is always a little, dangerous, but I think that team bounces back after a tough loss to Fresno State. Their defense is solid. And Hawaii can't stop the run. I think San Diego State is going to control the ball,
How could you stop the run if you never go against the run?
and they'll be
Practice.
able to exactly. And they'll be able to take that one. We're also on another money line pick. We're taking Marshall this week against Florida Atlantic. Look at this guy out of bounds. No. Sorry, I'm also watching the Eastern Michigan game, and we just threw a pick.
Maction.
Little Maction. But yeah, we're taking Marshall here against Florida Atlantic. They're favored by 1.5. We're taking a money line. We think that, again, their defense is going to be superior to FAU. And then last but not least, we're really taking a deep dive. We're taking Texas State at -3.5. They're playing the University of Louisiana Monroe.
Go!
Yeah, it's a sloppy one. It's real sloppy. I'm also leaning towards Tulane +13 against UCF. That's just a lean as of right now. And
So is that part of the official deep dive, or is it not?
no, that's a lean. That's a lean as of right now.
Oh, so we got a new category. We got a lean.
We got leans. And we're also taking a look at Texas. Texas started at +7. They're at -6.5.
Producer, please note that we have leans now in the deep dive.
So we might end up taking Texas before this week is over. I think Sark might be able, after having the whole monkey situation and the pole dancer, I think Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns will be able to cover
That
against
guy
Iowa
can't
State.
get out of his own way.
Let me tell you, man, it's incredible. Publicity one way or the other, but he gets it.
My God, baller monkey, right? Like, what the
I have no idea. The monkey is somehow involved in the pole dancers show. She's a stripper, and he's I don't know.
I got nothing for you there.
Mr. Banks is
Recruiting 24/7. I see.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Texas is good. Listen, Texas is
Just
going to make
saying.
sure that whenever they come to visit, they go home with an experience. Because
That's an experience.
I've
already.
been taught it's all about the experience. So
It's all about having a story.
So what's our I'm gonna ask this question off the cuff here. What is your, as we get into bowl season, right? We're 3-4 weeks off, right? Like let's preview that. What is your outlook on bowl season? How do you bet bowl season?
man, bowl season is one of the trickiest times to really.
And I know
take
I'm throwing this at you right now, but
No, it's cool. With bowl season, sometimes it's. I'll be honest with you. It's better to take the underdogs than the favorites. A lot of times, a lot of these big name schools, they go to bowls, and they were national championship contenders, they were conference champion contenders, all that. And honestly, they really don't. They go to the bowl because they got to, but it's not something that they're really fired up to go.
Yeah, it's a vacation for them. They really don't,
Where some of these
Why am I here?
other programs are hungry. They get to the bowl game, a la Boise State years ago against Oklahoma, and they want to put on a show, and they want to put the coach, and everyone involved. It's a recruiting tool. They're on national TV, which sometimes they don't get on, and they go out there and they put on, a show for everyone and to bring their students in, to bring other people in, notoriety for the program.
right.
One of those teams, I'm going to tell you right now, one of those teams is going to be the UTSA.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Texas San Antonio with Traylor. He just signed a contract extension. I may fade them this weekend because they're like 11-point favorites against UTEP. I don't know yet. We'll see about that. But
Another lean.
But UTSA, that guy's done a great job at that school. They're like 7-1 or 8-0, something like that. And that's a team that when they go bowling this year, get ready. That's going to be a team to jump on.
Who was their first coach ever?
A former University of Miami Hurricane head football coach.
I got nothing for you, Grizz.
No, I'm waiting. I think Gil has the answer. I don't think Frankie has the
No,
answer.
he's our coach emeritus here.
Again,
I threw him a softball.
I know where he comes. And let me tell you something. Larry Coker was a hell of a coach. Mm-hmm. Larry Coker, with all due respect, was a
With all due
phenomenal
respect,
guy.
he went from winning a title and then 6 years later to opening this program.
But yes, Larry Coker was the one who started the ball rolling at Texas San Antonio. The Roadrunners.
And
Beep,
here they are now.
beep, beep.
Gentlemen, I think that concludes our most recent episode of Two Coaches, One Grizz. Oh, what happened here? It's a drop
It's
pass.
a dropped interception. All you DBs have no hands.
Hey, I resent that remark.
No, you resemble that remark.
No, I resent that remark. Now, just want to throw a little teaser here for some events that are happening with Two Coaches, One Grizz in the next week or two. Coach, I'm gonna give you the reins here in terms of your exclusive interviews that you have lined up here for our show here.
We have tomorrow night. I'm gonna have the pleasure of interviewing one of the better handicappers out there. She's on Yahoo Sports. She's on Twitter. Her name is Pamela Maldonado. She does a fantastic job with all of her plays. She's very stat oriented. She breaks everything down. We're gonna have her on tomorrow, and we'll have that up during the week. We also have the linebacker coach from the University of Miami also lined up, and hopefully next week we'll try to throw a little college basketball surprise, and we'll let you guys know about that later on.
Teaser. Guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please, please, please share, follow, okay, distribute to all your friends. We enjoy the support that we've had so far. We're looking forward to more growth here. All right, so this is us signing off. Frank Morales, Gil Laura, and Mario the Grizz Mess Up for Two Coaches, One Grizz. See you guys later.